Hello all, welcome back to this video. In the last video, we understood how you can jailbreak an iOS device. In this video, we are going to understand how you can set up your proxy in an iOS device. So once you jailbreak an iOS device, it is very essential to capture all the requests which are moving from an application to the web application server or the mobile application server. Now to capture this requests, we require Burp Suite in order to intercept those, so that we can play with those requests and find vulnerabilities in them. But before Burp Suite can intercept those requests, we need to set up a proxy connection. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up that proxy connection. So we are going to set up a proxy connection between an iOS device and Burp Suite using a proxy server. Okay, so it's the demo time and let's understand how you can set up the proxy connection. Now over here, you can see that this is my jailbroken iOS device. Okay, and it's connected to a Wi-Fi called as TP-Link. You have to make sure that your device wherein the Burp Suite is running and your iOS device is connected to the same Wi-Fi network. As you can see that my iOS device and my laptop wherein Burp Suite is connected is on the same Wi-Fi network. You have to go inside the proxy settings and you have to edit the proxy settings. You have to select the proxy which is already enabled and click on edit. Once you click on edit, you have to change the bind to address to all interfaces. Okay, so previously it was loopback only, which means that your Burp Suite is going to capture all those requests that are coming from the loopback address. What's the loopback address? The loopback address is 127.0.0.1, also called as your local host. Now, you do not want Burp Suite to capture requests just from the local host. You want Burp Suite to capture the requests from all the devices which are connected. Okay, so now let's say on the same Wi-Fi, there are four devices which are connected. One is my iPhone, one is my Mac laptop, other two are maybe an Android phone and a Windows laptop. You want your Burp to take all those requests or to capture all those requests coming from all those devices, right? So you are going to click on all interfaces. Why we are clicking on all interfaces? Because I want my Burp to capture the request coming from my iOS device. Once you do that, you have to click on the OK button and you have to click on yes. Perfect. Now you can see that it has been switched to star colon 8080, which means that Burp is going to capture network or Burp is going to capture traffic from all devices. Okay, perfect. Now let's try to make a connection. Okay, before we make a connection, you have to go inside Wi-Fi. You have to go inside information of the Wi-Fi, and at the very bottom, you can see configure proxy. Okay, you can see configure proxy. You have to click on it. Once you click on it, currently it is off. You have to click on it and click on manual. Okay, so once you click on manual, you have to mention the server address. Now how are you going to get this server address? The Before getting the server address, let's mention the port number. The port number is going to be 8080. Okay, so as you have mentioned over here, similarly the port number is going to be 8080. Now for the server address, you have to give the IP address of your host machine or of the machine wherein Burp Suite is installed. Okay, so all I have to do is I'm going to do ifconfig. I currently have so many networks over here, so I'm just simply going to grep my IP address. For a reason, I know that my IP address starts from 192. Yours might start from something different. So you can check it out. It's very simple. So for me, the IP address is 192.168.1.3. I'm going to insert 192.168. Oops, that's 102. That's 192.168.1.3. The port number is going to be 8080. I'm going to click on save and that's it. Now all the connections or all the requests which my which my iOS device is going to make, my Burp Suite is going to capture. Okay, so now I'm simply going to go on to Safari browser inside my iOS. First, I will be clicking on intercept on. Okay, and I'm going to visit a website called as http burp. Okay, so now if I visit the website, if I see this particular home page, I'm sure that my connection is successful. Now, what happens is by default, you're only able to capture the HTTP traffic. Okay, you cannot capture the HTTPS traffic. So for example, we are going to go onto the website called as http://testphp.wallonweb.com. Okay, let me write it perfectly. It's testphp.wallonweb.com, and I'm going to turn my intercept on. And now you can see that I have captured request from testphp.wallonweb.com. Okay, it's an HTTP request. It's not HTTPS request, it's an HTTP request. And you can see the HTTP page has been loaded successfully. Now, at the same time, if I go on to an HTTPS website, let's say google.com, it's going to give me an error saying that the connection is not private. Why? This is because we haven't installed or we haven't trusted the certificate of Burp. This is the reason that it's not going to show me, or it's not going to give me the results for HTTPS connection. For that, you have to go onto this website called as http://burp. You have to download the CA certificate. Once the profile is downloaded, you can go inside settings and click on profile downloaded, and you have to click on install. Once you install it, the certificate is going to be downloaded. Now, the certificate is just downloaded. It's not trusted. You have to scroll bottom. You have to go inside VPN and device management and click on the CA certificate, more details, certificate, and you can see these are all the certificates which are available. Okay. And now if you refresh and go on to google.com, it's still going to show you an error. Okay, so it's going to show you an error. Why? Because the certificate has been downloaded, but it's not verified yet. Okay, you can see that the certificate is not trusted yet. It's downloaded, but not trusted. To trust the certificate, you have to go inside settings, general, scroll over the bottom, VPN and device management, configuration profile. Okay, you can see it's verified. You can just search for trusted certificates. Okay, it's inside general. Okay, you can search for trusted certificates, and you can go inside certificate trust settings, and you have to turn on Portswigger CA. You can see that it's enable full trust for root certificates. You have to turn on this, and once you turn on this, I'm sorry, my screen got froze. I'll just, yeah, perfect. If you turn on this, and now if you visit https google.com, google.com is going to load successfully for you. Okay, so we'll wait for a couple of minutes, and yes, now you can see that google.com is successfully loaded. Inside the Burp HTTP history, I can see that all the requests made by Google was successfully loaded. Now let's check out whether we are able to capture a particular request or not. So I'm going to search for cricket, and I'm going to capture that particular request. I'm going to modify this cricket to, let's say, football, and I'm going to forward this request, and I'm going to turn off the intercept. And as you can see, I have successfully modified the request as well. So in this manner, you can configure your proxy with your Burp Suite on your host computer and play with the request and the response from the iOS device. Thank you.